What Bethesda is doing right now is very insulting. So in the Partner Direct a couple of months ago, we got the announcements of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition and Skyrim Anniversary Edition on Nintendo Switch 2. And I think a lot of people probably thought it was just going to be a game key card, which it isn't the best, but I mean, it's a physical game card. You can resell it, you can give it to a friend. And it sucks, but unfortunately, it seems like that's how most big AAA games are going. But what was surprising is that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is not a game key card. It's a game fully on cartridge, which is really cool. And I know a lot of people are very happy and very shocked about that. But then with Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition and Skyrim Anniversary Edition, they're not even game key cards. They are digital codes. Like, you can buy the case, you open it, and there is a piece of paper with a digital code. And I just think it's very insulting when companies do this. There's just no reason for it. Like, I have, I think, one game like this because I got it for super cheap. But when you're buying a game, like a physical game, you kind of want a physical game in the case, and there's no reason for this. You're buying something to put on your shelf, which I know a lot of collectors do. That's one of the reasons I still buy game key cards. Like, if I need to, it's not ideal. But there's nothing here. You literally just buy an empty case. It's not like you could resell it. I mean, maybe you could get like a few bucks for the case, but there's nothing there. And these are not cheap games. These are games that have come out 11 and 15 years ago, respectively, and are still being charged, what, 50, 60 bucks for a download code for like a slightly better edition. Like, this is not like a full-on remaster or anything. It's basically the same game that has been remastered so many times. So you'd figure if they're going to do this, at least like have a cartridge for it. No, but this is just to get money, and I don't see any reason to buy these. If you have bought Skyrim on Nintendo Switch, this is the same game. Like, it's slightly better, but it is not worth the extra money. Like, why not just buy the Skyrim that's already on Switch for cheaper? That is an actual cartridge. And as for Fallout 4, it's cool to have it on the go. If it was like, I don't know, 20 bucks digitally for this, like whatever, like it's Fallout 4 on the go. But now spending nearly full price of this game that came out over a decade ago to only get a code in a box, like, no, that's just not worth it for this. And this is a trend that we've been seeing in recent years, and there's been a lot of pushback on it, even more than game key cards. Like, Split Fiction was one that I only have it because I got it for super cheap. That was a code in box. There's been cases of it happening on Xbox. There was a couple other on Switch. Like, there are some that there is an internet download required, and you'll see that on the box, but a lot of them are still like cartridges. But there are games on the original Switch 2 that are just download codes, and I think it's a very bad trend because it's pointless to have these games as like a physical case if that's all you're getting with it. This is just a complete waste. And if these were like super cheap, like okay, if they were like 20 bucks for these and you get the box with it, like, okay, it's cheap, but these are not cheap, like I mentioned, so that's kind of what makes it even worse. And what sucks is that these are actually cool cases. I actually really like these cases. I like the Fallout 4 one I like the Fallout 4 one with the power armor helmet. I really like the Skyrim design. And this is something, if it was cheaper, I'd consider getting, you know, if it had a cartridge. Because Skyrim is actually a game I've never finished. I've tried to play it, but it's just such a long game, especially since I have it on PS4. I can't really bring it on the go at all. I mean, I have a Portal, but that's not the same. Fallout 4 is a game I beat a long time ago. I don't really feel like going back to it unless like I found it for really cheap on Switch 2. This is in my opinion far worse than game key cards. Like, with all the negativity that people have been giving towards game key cards, and a lot of it is justified, I think we should be giving twice as much pushback to things like this. I think the only positive we can try and find from this is that I don't think these are going to sell much. I don't think this really appeals to anyone, because if these games appeal to you, you're likely just going to buy digitally. Because if someone wants to buy physical games, they're not going to care about a digital code. And if someone wants to buy digital, then this never mattered in the first place. So maybe these will sell very poorly, and that'll cause the price to go down below the digital price. And then maybe it's worth it if you want it because it's cheaper than like the full digital without the case. So that's like the one thing I could say about this. And I'm just very confused why these are digital codes when Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is a newer game, I think it came out in 2024, and it's a full AAA game. It fits fully on the cartridge, not even a game key card. If it was a game key card, then you might be able to say, okay, well, that's not much different. But no, it's literally a full-on cartridge game. And now these are not even game key cards, and these are much older games. These are games that came out in 2015 and 2011 on the previous generation, and then the generation before that compared to a modern gen game. And I just don't get it, because I get they're saving money because they don't have to make the cartridge. But at that point, do game key cards. Game key cards are not as expensive to make as cartridges. And again, like, they are charging a lot of money for this, and they are making Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on cartridges. I can't wrap my head around it. I know I keep going back to that, but I really just don't understand it. Like, what do these really have? Like, there's a 60 hertz mode, DLSS support for Fallout 4, and I think Oblivion, I think that's coming as a physically code and box game. This is just a very bad trend, because it's like they're trying to appease people who buy games physically, but they don't actually want to give them that physical game. And I really hope this isn't the future of of physical game collecting where you're just collecting a case, because that would kind of just be the end of physical games as we know it. So this is not the norm right now. I have to make that clear. This is not the norm to have code in box, even though we are starting to see it a little more. And this is, again, not something new. I'm not one to really tell people to go boycott things. And if you want to buy these, that's you. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you're not allowed to or anything. With game keycards, there's been a lot of people who have been wanting to boycott that. I've never spoken out like in support of boycotting that, even though I've not supported it. But these, I'm going to say that unless you find it just super cheap, where it is just cheaper than the digital code, then don't buy these, because then it's just going to show Bethesda and probably other companies that they can just make these codes in a box, and they'll think that people buy physical games really care about. If these sell poorly enough, then maybe they'll sell them on cartridge or even game key cards. And then at that point, I'd say if you feel it's worth it, that's a better choice to get it. Because there have been times where things like this have worked, like where Xbox was having some codes and boxes, I forgot what specific game, and then people were really pushing back against it, and it ended up getting like a physical disc release. So again, you don't need to listen to me. That's just my take. I think that unless you buy these super cheap, it's just not worth it, and it's not a good idea to support this, and it's not a good idea to support this kind of behavior. Now, also, if someone does buy these, I don't think they're a bad person. I think people will attack anyone who buys these, and I don't think you should do that either. I think you should just encourage people to just think about what they're supporting, because at the end of the day, is it that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things? I mean, it's a video game, so it's not the most important thing in the world, but I just think for the hobby, it's a bad thing. And I think the worst part is that it's not even a new game. Like, Split Fiction, I think, was bad to have as a code in a box. And like I mentioned, I have that, but I got it for super cheap, and that was the only reason I got it, because it was cheaper than even getting a digital code, and it also came with something else. But that was a current-gen game. These are old games that are just like basically slightly remastered versions, so it really makes no sense. And I need to mention this game, but these are really cool cases. I would love to get one of these with the actual cartridges if it was a decent price, but until we actually see some change in this, that's not going to happen. I think someday we're going to get a Fallout 3 and New Vegas remaster or remake, and if that's how it is on Switch 2, I'm just not buying it on Switch 2. I will buy it on PS5, because I would love to have a physical version of that game, and I would assume on PS5 it'll be just a game on disc, but we'll need to see. There have been times where it looked like there was going to be really bad trends for the gaming industry, and some of them have kind of fallen behind. So I Scott the Woz video not too long ago about like the paying for online craze of like the early 2010s, and not like paying online, like paying for PSN or Xbox Live, like paying to play online in a game, like paying a $10 fee to play an online mode in a game. And that was to make money from used games, and that has died off since. I don't even think it's allowed on PlayStation anymore, and it's not something we really see anymore. There was the trend where like every game required you to make some sort of account, and that's kind of died off a little bit. There's some games that are still like that, but it's not as common. So I think as long as people just show and speak out against this, that it's more likely we'll at the very least get game keycards of this. And again, that's a whole other issue. If you won't even buy game keycards, also that's totally understandable, but I think that's it. But I think that's at least a step in the right direction, because you at least have the physical game. I know I've kind of ranted a lot in this video, and it's because Fallout is actually one of my favorite series. I've been playing Fallout for over a decade, and I really hate to see something like this, like for a series that I really love, just get this sort of treatment, especially since there is good things here. It is good to have Fallout 4 on the Switch too. Like, it is a game, I don't think there's been a Fallout game on a Nintendo system before, except if you want to count like Fallout Shelter. Like, I think it's very good to have that sort of support, and if it was a digital only game, I think there would be less pushback than this, because this is kind of just pointless. If you don't care about this, you're probably not even watching this video anymore. You probably either didn't click on it or clicked off a while ago, but if for some reason you're still here, ultimately, it's your decision. It's not the most important thing in the world, but I thought it was just worth a little rant, and I'm hoping that I just convinced at least one person to understand my perspective on this. And if you want to hear my perspectives on other gaming topics, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.